Back on the Trans-Siberian. Alexander works 41 hours a week. He gets a month's vacation. He'll retire at the age of 51. The railway company gives him and his family one free trip per year. There are two types of car, with 2 or 4 sleeping berths. Shared sinks, no showers, and that's a problem for the 6-day travelers, those going all the way to Vladivostok. This couple lives in Shitap in Siberia. The old woman just spent 15 days in Moscow visiting her children. You're finally settled in, and already you've come to the realization that the Trans-Siberian of your dreams, with its padded seats, lacquered furniture in the compartments, the dining cars alight with dazzling crystal and silverware, is a thing of the past. You'll come to know a different train. (5,810 miles, the longest train route in the world, more than a quarter of the way around the Earth. For train lovers, it's a legend, a myth. The journey lasts 6 days. By plane, it takes 8 hours. Noon in Moscow means 7 p.m. in Vladivostok. All the trains are in radio contact with the way stations, which link up with the major stations. The price of the ticket Moscow-Vladivostok is 69 rubles, about $130, in a compartment with 4 berths. It's $290 for a double.
Диван, чемодан.
Диван, чемодан, шоколад. Катина.
The sun has managed to come out from behind the clouds to greet us as we pull into Yaroslavl, one of the most beautiful cities of Russia. Yaroslavl was founded in the year 1010, even before Moscow, as a citadel to control the crossings of the Volga River, a vital trade route. Down through the centuries, the merchants have built more than 50 churches. In the forest near Yaroslavl, we have a curious establishment. It's not a military training camp, and it's not a vacation village. It's more like an amusement park ride, a scale model toy, but it also seems like very cleverly organized indoctrination. These are not all children of railway employees, but they'll all most likely end up working for the company. Today, our station master is a girl. We're on our way again. The track gauge is 1.52 meters, larger than in the rest of Europe where it's 1.43 meters. And another piece of information as we're crossing the Volga, this train we're riding in, the Trans-Siberian, has an average speed of 36.5 miles per hour. And Glasnost has made it known that upping the speed is out of the question before the year 2000. The Moscow-Leningrad Express, which tops 125 miles per hour, will have no rivals. The fact is, the Soviet Railways has other pressing needs. New track, extending lines, renewal of the rolling stock. There's a samovar in every car. A cup of tea with sugar costs a penny, a bit less without sugar. There are 2 attendants per car. They take turns, each working 1 12-hour shift per day. 38 attendants for the 19 cars that make up the train. Two Dutch tourists, Soraya Karam and Elvira Helmskerk. They're going to vacation in China, and rather than take the train, they've succumbed to the lure of the Trans-Siberian.
Soraya, you want sugar in the tea? No? Okay. It's nice, It's a nice girl also. You don't think so?
And after Irkutsk, where are you headed? After 3 days, we head for Peking. Yes, Peking. Then again by train to Xi'an. After that, the plane to Chengdu. Then we go to Guilin. The nature is wonderful at Guilin. Then we fly to Hong Kong. What do you think of these cars on the Trans-Siberian? The comfort, the personnel? Oh, the service is very good. The girls are very nice, but it's a bit hot. The food is good, and it's not very expensive. So we have a lot of money to spend on, well, we have a lot of money left. From the second day, and especially the third day out, the towns and villages get further and further apart. We move through stands of beech trees and evergreens interspersed with clearings. The head conductor. The attendants are under her orders, and they check the tickets. There are no ticket takers. She announces the stations, and she plays the role of disc jockey, selecting the music for the train. Three cooks and a dishwasher. A vendor goes door to door through the train offering hot dishes. Sorry, no sandwiches, peanuts, or candy bars. There are two identical dining cars in the middle of the train, open from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. They close for 2 hours in the afternoon. You can get a good hearty meal for about $3. Wine, beer, and liquor are not allowed anywhere in the Soviet railway system. The hors d'oeuvres are sold by weight, not by the portion. Each slice of sausage is carefully weighed. No calculator, but the good old-fashioned abacus. An important landmark. We are now leaving Europe and entering Asia. 4 girls from the Komsomol, the communist youth movement. They're quite excited. They're giggling. What's going on? Well, we're students in a polytechnic school. We were sent to Sochi on an agricultural assignment. We were picking walnuts and tea. Now we're going back to Irkutsk via Moscow. And at Novosibirsk, we missed our train. We almost had to walk home. They let us get on this train, which will take us to the taiga. We just hope we can catch up with our train. The next stop, the moment of truth for these girls. Fog, rain, sleet, and dust have all left the cars covered with a thick layer of dirt. There's no regular cleaning service, so if you want a clean window, it's a do-it-yourself proposition. Boredom has set in, and each traveler plunges into his own thoughts, rocked by a melancholy air. Imperceptibly, night follows day, which follows night. Is today Tuesday or Thursday? Little by little, we've lost the notion of time. 3 o'clock in the morning. One more station, just like all the others. Where are we? Numbed by the rhythm of the rails, it's been a long time since we've even glanced at the map. Work continues. The mail. Servicemen getting back to their units from leave. We're about to get moving. Nope, false alarm. The train is immobilized for more than 2 hours. It's an emergency. The wheels of the car in front of us were getting dangerously hot. They have to change the whole wheel assembly. Just how close was it to breaking? Was this a near disaster? The train crew is not saying. You might think you're up against the usual Soviet smokescreen of secrecy. Well, things have changed. This extraordinary film you're about to see was given to us by the Minister of Communications. It's the minister, Nikolai Kodaryov, speaking. When will all the words be backed up by action? Do you fully realize your responsibilities to the public and to your superiors? What kind of political and national awareness do you have? Yes, it is possible to go through a bad quarter, even a second bad quarter. But when the commitments are never respected, it means you couldn't care less about your responsibilities and your work. The narrator continues. What you see here are not the ravages of war, but today's vandalism. This is how the users treat the cars. The country badly needs rolling stock, and we can no longer say that this is simply due to negligence. Putting equipment into service and repairing it are costly operations. The commentator also criticizes the computerized system of ticket reservations and sales. There's only one center in Moscow for a population of 9 million. The employees are not always efficient, he specifies. He also points out the shortage of telephones, the shortage of trains. The system doesn't measure up, he concludes. Boris Tikmelyov, Doctor of Science, talks about development of locomotive prototypes. We've lost sight of the national priority. In France, they started this kind of research 10 years after us, but they've already concluded. They've decided to launch a series of locomotives with thyristor-controlled connectorless motors. 44 locomotives are already under construction. Where? In France, of course. And here? And here it's still dragging along.
Любимая песня моя.
Novosibirsk, the third largest city after Moscow and Leningrad, a population of 1,400,000. This mushroom town has doubled in 20 years. It's the jewel of the new dynamic Siberia. The daycare center of the station is resolutely placed under the edifying protection of Comrade Lenin. We see him as a blonde, curly-haired baby, then a little boy, an adolescent, a young man, as an adult, and lastly with a protective arm around his mother. Siberia has a higher standard of living than the rest of the country. 39-year-old Sergei Fenotko, engineer on the Trans-Siberian, owns a car, unlike his co-workers in Moscow. The fact is he earns 15% more than them. If he were to live even further out in the Soviet Far East, his salary would be 30% more, and in Kamchatka, 100% more. A strong incentive. The idea is to populate these almost uninhabited territories. Sergei and his family also own a dacha, a small country house, with a vegetable garden. They built it themselves, just like their neighbor is building his. The whole village, in fact, was built by the inhabitants. They don't own the land, it's on loan from the state, but they will be able to pass the house on to their children. It was Alexis, Sergei's father-in-law, who obtained this benefit as a veteran. There was only a 1-year wait, he says. Sergei, the locomotive engineer, likes living in Siberia. Obviously, he enjoys being able to fish in these unpolluted rivers that he has all to himself. But there's more. There are the wide open spaces, which give a feeling of limitless freedom.
Меня вы ждете?
Да, контролер идет. Ну, берегитесь.
Молодцы, молодцы.
Берегитесь. Митюшу проконтролируй там. Так, это сразу надо отсортировать, потому что в первую что очередь говорите, что во вторую?
Ну давайте. Вот это вот жарить пойдет, вот уже готово.
Все, да, контролер.
They talk about Perestroika here, too. Do you have co-workers who are against Perestroika? Yes, and not only co-workers. I have friends, unfortunately, who are against it. If it weren't for them, the goals would already have been reached. Why are they against Perestroika? Well, there are the hard opponents, and then there are the soft opponents. The soft opponents are not actively resisting, but they do slow down the Perestroika. People don't all think these things out at the same pace. We hope the Perestroika will pick up momentum. Among your co-workers, is there an active resistance or maybe even sabotage? No, no sabotage, but more of an inertia. Not so much a physical inertia, it's more of a moral inertia. It's hard to change people's everyday habits. Now, that's true. But there are also people who don't like to work. and they drag their heels on Perestroika.
Что ты против перестройки? Надо отдыхать перед поездкой.
Ну, правильно.
Ну и
так,
работа такая, уже должны привыкнуть.
The vegetable garden is their pride and joy. It does mean that much less time waiting in the food store lines.
Ну я тебя спрашиваю, куда ты будешь брать меня?
Sergei has started his shift.
Мне одна минута остается. Правильно, стоял.
Every major station brings a new crop of local newspapers.
Порядки последовали прежде. Понятно.
We're changing locomotives. The Soviets designed them, and they're manufactured in Czechoslovakia in the framework of the Comecom, the Eastern Bloc Economic Alliance. Of the 5,810 miles of the Trans-Siberian, 3,900 miles are electrified. Diesel power covers the rest. Steam power was finally phased out on the whole network only in 1978. We begin to see snow as we approach Lake Baikal. The Trans-Siberian follows its shoreline for 170 miles. This is the deepest lake in the world, just over a mile deep. It contains 1/5 of our planet's fresh water. It was created 25 million years ago, and of the dozens of species of fish it contains, 27 are found nowhere else. we find the same charm of the old timberwork stations in the izbas of Irkutsk, near Baikal. Like this one, the home of Prince Trubetskoy, leader of the December uprising. On the 14th of December, 1825, a group of aristocrats rebelled in order to impose a constitutional monarchy on the Tsar. The rebellion was crushed, and 120 Decembrists were exiled to Siberia. Trubetskoy stayed for 30 years. The princess was hostess to a renowned literary salon at Irkutsk. At that time, French was the language used every day by the cultured class. The Soviet rulers regard the Decembrists as true revolutionaries, and they honor their memory. In this region, they've succeeded in creating a second Trans-Siberian line, 2,600 miles long. It took more than 45 years. The work was often interrupted, but always resumed, and all under some of the worst geographic and climatic conditions on Earth. Much more than a public works project, it was an epic. It's the BAM, the Baikal-Amur line, named after the mighty river of the Far East. It passes to the north of Lake Baikal. On the BAM line, we dug 7 tunnels, constructed more than 50 stations, 7 mountain ranges, the permafrost, seismic problems, a very dense system of rivers. The thermometer sometimes drops to minus 76 degrees Fahrenheit. On October 27, 1984, the line was opened. The BAM opens up enormous possibilities for transportation and industry between Moscow and Vladivostok. Back underway with our Trans-Siberian. The region of Khabarovsk is included in the vast the station of Khabarovsk. The mountains we see across the horizon are in China. Up until now, we've been traveling east. Now we head due south. The chess players have finally finished their interminable game. In the USSR, they like formal ceremonies. They are also fond of medals, so this is a perfect occasion.
Желаем вам дальнейших успехов.
Nakobka, end of the line. Foreigners can't go all the way to Vladivostok. They have to get off here. Well, there we have it. The trip is finished. The longest train journey in the world, 5,810 miles, 6 days and 6 nights. For those who wanted to live out their dream of the Trans-Siberian Railroad, to exercise the spell of this mythical train, there's nothing left to see, nothing left to experience. It's over. For others, the Trans-Siberian is also a means of transportation, a way to get somewhere else, and a huge white boat is waiting for them. In 2 days, they'll land in Yokohama, Tokyo's port. There, it's a new adventure called Japan, and that is another story.
Bonjour.
Merci. Bien. Au revoir. Так много счет. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ну так больше ничего почти. Париж. Да. Parlez-vous français?